Good morning. It's June the 5th, 2017. Time to kick off another day and week of trading. And let's hope the results this week were like they were last week and the week before, etc. We'll start with our usual disclaimer. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, results may have under or overcompensated for the impact of any of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. What a weekend! Unfortunately, there was another major terror attack in Europe, and it's a direct outcome of immigration policies that in the UK were put into effect a long time ago with their Commonwealth, and they're being repaid by the second generation of those people who are allowed in the country. And on the continent of Europe, outside of France, it's self I don't know, I mean, it's insanity with all these militant refugees that have been let into Germany and other parts of Europe, and it's hard to see how there could be any different outcome. We have the same problem in the United States. We just have not let those people in the numbers that Europe has let them in, and of course England, the UK started a long time ago. So it's a tough deal, and the second generation people that are going into it, they don't have Western ideals and aspirations or a history of progress and growth through the generation in families. They have their parents that came over here, so they've got one generations of experience, and assimilation has not been the goal of these immigration programs, and it's a very, very active, fervent bed of hostilities and eventually terrorism. So I hate to read about them, the tragedy that people suffer, but it is a fact of life, and there's more to come. A couple of weeks ago, I read, since the first of the year, there's been a major terrorist attack every week on the continent of Europe and the UK. A major terrorist attack with damage done and the rest of it. Hopefully we don't accept that as the status quo. Anyway, that's the major news over the weekend. The terrorist attacks in London, and then Qatar, or Qatar, depending on which way you're educated and brought up, has been kicked out by Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and a couple of other countries. The Gulf nations cut off diplomatic relationships with Qatar and expelling their diplomats, cut off sea and aircraft rights, overflight rights, and the reason for that is supposedly Qatar enabling and fostering terrorism in Syria, minimally, and other places of the Middle East, mainly backing some of Iran's ventures, not directly but indirectly. So those are two major pieces of news. The major European banks, Switzerland, Italy, Germany, France, etc., are on holiday. That will impact the trading in treasuries today. So looking for a quiet day impacted by today's news, and we have news that could affect the trading. And first piece of news that will hit is non-farm productivity minus 0.2, unit labor cost plus 2.6%. No one will pay a lot of attention to that. PMI services 54. The biggie, factory orders minus 0.2, and ISM services 57. And then labor market conditions 2.6. So right there are the two biggies, factory orders and ISM services, and then the direction of the E-mini. The E-mini made new highs off of Trump's withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty / Accord, and the stock market rallied on that, and I expect a pause day over there too. So given the European bank closing, the pause day in the E-mini, I'm seeing a trading range day in treasuries, and we'll see if that happens. So our first buy is 9 to 13, a little bit lower. 1 to 5, buy 2. 19 to 23, sell 1. I would rather do it against 24, obviously, than against 20. 27 to 31, sell 2. We had a wet weekend here. Officially we got 7/10 of an inch. We had 4 inches of rain here at my house, measured in my rain gauge. So the official rain statistics are kept at the airport about 15 miles west of here, and they got a lot less than we did. But we are wet. Everything is not Irish emerald green, but very, very green for this part of the world. In fact, the greenest spot on the face of the earth from the air anyway is Ireland. There, nothing comes close. Okay, looking at the 30-year, 24-28, number 1. 31 to 03, sell 1. 7 to 11, sell 2. News will impact our trading this morning. 12 to 16, number 1. 5 to 9, buy 1. 29 to 01, buy 2. Yeah, I'll be cutting the yard tonight or tomorrow, depending when the grass dries out. So my weekend chores spilled over into this week. Won't kill me. Doesn't take that long either. Gold was unchanged when I looked at it a long time ago. Yeah, the various cities in the United States, we have anarchists or rent-a-mobs that are financed by various factions. But we've had major terrorist attacks on our soil of late too, so I don't think that's going to change. Okay, here we are at resistance, so 85.87, sell 1. 89.91, sell 2. Everything is pointed higher. I think we're going to get stops above 1300. We've been talking about that for the last month. It has not happened yet. 80.82, buy 1. Very, very aggressive. 75.77, buy 2. And what do we want to do as a country in our infinite wisdom? Increase the refugee flow of military-age young men from countries of the world that are known hotbeds of terrorism and exportation of such. You just have to wonder what planet our politicians come from, or they feel like they're so insulated and so protected it just never will touch them. And my guess, that's what it is. Okay, looking at the euro, the banks are closed. That obviously will impact the volume. weren't able to take out 1300. I think we had a 95 to 05 sell on Friday. Yeah, 95 to 1300.05, and we have a high of 91. Didn't quite get there. We thought we'd get a little bit higher, so we like the sell side. Our first buy was in the 1250 to 60 area. We've gone through that, and our second was in the 25 area. So we're at support right now. So 40 to 50 by 1. Like the short side better. 25 by 2. On the sell side, 65 to 75, sell 1. 90 to the buck, sell 2. Okay, crude got whacked. I don't know how Qatar or Qatar is been trying to get a gas pipeline through Syria for the longest period of time. I don't know. Obviously, if they've got big natural gas producers, they're exporting at least liquids. So I imagine they have some oil exports, but the market's not playing like it. And any oil will come off the markets because of what's happened to Qatar. So we'll have to see how it plays out. 47.50, 47.75, very, very aggressive early in the session. Sell 1, 48 even, 48 and a quarter, not so aggressive. On the buy side, we'll make 46.75, 47 by 1, and 46 and a quarter, 46.50 by 2. 47 minus, 52 plus is the trading range we've called so far. 47's holding up reasonably well. Now think about buying against 47 as a day trader compared to as a institutional long-term position trader. We've got a losing trade if we're wrong, but we're not making major commitments to the market one way or the other. But if you're a long-term fundamentalist and you said 47 to 52, we're at 47. Time to step up to the plate. Can you do it comfortably? And that's always the issue. I've been wanting to buy 47 for a month. Now I'm here. I can't buy it right now. Market's headed lower. And that's a dilemma we always face. So as day traders, it's actually a little bit easier for us to handle than it is for the position trader. Okay, very, very strong day. Trump's withdrawal from the Paris Accord. Now, that's if you think about it, everybody was forecasting doom and gloom if Trump won the election. Everybody was counting on Hillary. And then when it became apparent that Trump was elected, as it moved into it, the market sold and sold and sold. Trump finally gets elected and declares it, and the bottom is put in shortly thereafter. I mean, the market was down in a huge way. And then from November the 9th, it's been straight up since then. And Trump was supposed to be a bad thing for the United States and for the world stock markets. And it's proven to be just the opposite. So the Paris Climate Accord or treaty like that, if that was withdrawing from that was such a catastrophic and such a bad thing, why did the market rally? And it didn't just rally in the United States. Why did it rally around the globe off of that news? And part of it is that the agreement itself is a sham. The United States, I read something over the weekend that the only country that's put money into it so far is the United States, and the previous administration put $1 billion. Not one country in the world has put a dollar or a dime towards the Paris Peace Accord other than the United States. And India and China effectively could do anything that they wanted, and nobody else had to adhere to it. So it was a way to get the United States to foreign aid, and other countries in Northern Europe for the most part. So what did the market do? It's a bad deal. The United States withdraws from it, it rallies. And again, these are real dollars. These are people thinking about how bad this is. These are savvy people, and they say it's a good thing that the United States withdrew from it and killed it. So you listen to all the chatter and all the catastrophic prognostications from our press, which clearly has an agenda, and all the noise generated by politicians. You have to wonder, do they know what they're talking about? And I would maintain that they don't. In the real world, hard dollars voted. Markets around the globe are up with the United States withdrawing from that. I would say they don't know what they're talking about. But it does get them in front of a microphone, and they can spout and pontificate and act like they know what in the hell they're talking about and generate votes. Okay, the E-mini, we have a lot of news today. Non-farm productivity minus 0.2. Unit labor costs plus 2.6. PMI services 54. No one will pay any attention to it. The PMI services numbers in Europe were mixed, but generally as forecast. Plus or minus 0.1. Factory orders minus 0.2. ISM services 57. And then labor market conditions at plus 2.6. Factory orders, ISM services, the news focus. Sell failure to take out 38 to 40. 44.46, sell 2. Obviously stops above 24.50. We're headed for that. I don't know when, but the direction of the market is still higher until Trump releases his tax program. Then at that point, we'll have to see. Okay, it's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. Going to get busy with that. I will be back with you as soon as possible.